In the last lecture, we passed the current user as a prop to our navbar component. So now let's go to the navbar component. Here we have a functional component. We can either add props as a parameter to this function or use object destructuring to get the user property immediately. Now with this, we can render these two links, login and register, conditionally. So I'm going to select these two nav links, put them in an expression, and to conditionally render them, I'm going to write an expression like this: not user and. So if we don't have a user, then we'll render the login and register links. Now here we have an error. JSX expressions must have one parent element. So we need to wrap these two nav links inside of a React fragment. So let's put this on a new line. Now let's add react.fragment and then close it right here. Save the changes. This is the final result. Now we need a similar structure for the scenario where we do have a user. In that case, we want to display the user's name and the logout link. So I'm going to duplicate this entire expression like this. So here's our first one. Here's the second one. We need to change the second one like this. We remove the not operator. So if we do have a user, then we want to render the user's name. So instead of login, we want to render user.name. And maybe when the user clicks on this link, we want to take them to the profile of this user. So let's change this address to profile or my profile or me, whatever you want to call it. And for the second link, instead of register, we want to have log out, and we should also change the address accordingly. Save the changes. Now currently I'm logged in, that's why you can see my name here as well as the logout link. We haven't implemented the logout feature, we'll do that next. But for now, to manually log out a user, we have to go to our local storage and remove this token. Now back here, let's refresh the page. So we see the login and register links when the user is not logged in. There is just a tiny issue in our implementation. Let me show you. So if we go to the login page and log in with a valid username and password, see what happens. Login, we get redirected to the home page. However, we still see the login and register links. But if we refresh the page, the problem goes away. Let me explain the reason. Here in the app component, we're getting the JSON Web Token from our local storage and decoding it inside of the component did mount method. This method is called only once during the life cycle of our application, because our app component is mounted once, and then whenever we change its state, it's re-rendered. So to solve this issue, we need to go back to our login form. Here on line 26, instead of using the history object to take the user back to the home page, we need to do a full reload of the application. So we need to change this line to window.location. We set this to the home page. So this will cause a full reload of the application. As a result, our app component will be mounted again. Now we have a valid JSON Web Token in the local storage. So we decode it and get the current user. We have to do the same technique in our register form. So let's go to register form. Once again, on line 30, instead of using history, we should use window.location. We set this to the root or the home page. Now to make sure that this works, once again, let's go to the local storage, remove this token. Now refresh the application. So I'm an anonymous user, and that's why I see the login and register links. Let me log in one more time, user1@domain.com. Now I'm redirected to the home page, and we have my name and the logout link here. Beautiful. Next, we'll implement the logout feature.